Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana.
Good morning, guys. Oh, both of the kids are wide awake today, so yeah, I wanted to make a quick video here today. I did some changes in their tank, and basically, guys, like, I received a comment a few days ago from someone in one of my communities, and you know, I really had to think about a few things. So basically, somebody mentioned something, and I actually blocked her and kicked her out of the community just because her comments are always so hateful. And usually those comments don't bother me because at the end of the day, you know, I own the fish, and you know, I usually these type of people, they just have nothing better to do. But you know, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and you know, a lot of times, like, even if you know I see something wrong, for example, like this, you know, my Reddit community were like, oh, beautiful tank, but I hate the idea. And this is actually just like this is my breeding tank. This is what I feed these little guys, so it just really doesn't matter what I do with this tank, really. Obviously I wouldn't be keeping a fish in this type of tank just because, again, a 1.6 gallon aquarium, it's not really big for fish, but they're breeding, and I'm feeding Spud with the guppies, and then the ram horn snail I'm also feeding Spud just because Oz is a little bit more picky. But again, like, people don't know the whole context of what you're doing, so again, like, hateful comments shouldn't matter, really. But there was a comment where this lady said that, you know, you're putting these fish in a very high stress, just because, again, they're in the same tank. And I mean, fish keepers knows you can do this, right? Every fish keeper knows that you can put a divider and have two fish. The thing is, obviously, with the Congo potato pufferfish, and even, or any type of pufferfish, they're very, very territorial. So in Spud's side, he actually has a friend fish in there. He has a yo-yo loach because I need to keep the tank clean, and there's been detritus worm recently, and that's not good for the Congo potato pufferfish. So I decided to put a yo-yo loach. They're getting along right now. The yo-yo loach is hiding for most of the time. Oh, he's just in the back over there. I don't know if you guys can see him. He's just in the back, but most of the time he is hiding, but he still is eating a lot of the detritus worm, because it's not good to have detritus worm, especially for the potato pufferfish, because they bury themselves in the sand, and detritus worm like to hide in sand. So just for the safety of Spud, I need to make sure that I get rid of that. So yeah, so the comment was about, you know, you're putting them in a very high stress manner. Why don't you have another tank? Well, you know what? I likely would like to put Spud here on this counter with another tank. But again, this is not my house. This is my parents' house, so I have to respect my parents' rules. And for now, Spud is so small, like, he's 1.5 or 2 inch, to the point where, like, this is big enough for him. And to be honest, the more and more I think about it, like, there are fish owners that keep their fish in like a 20 to 10 gallon aquarium, and they're like full grown size, and like, that's not healthy. Like this tank is pretty big. This is like 35.6 by 22 by 22, which is bigger than the average tank. Like, a normal tank is usually 18 by 30 by 17, or sometime, no, actually an average tank is usually 28 by 12 by 17, 18, like, which is a 30 gallon tank. This is 68 gallons. So there's plenty of room for them to swim. As you guys can see, Oz is swimming up and down over here. There's plenty of room for Oz to grow. because obviously the bigger the tank, the bigger the fish. And Oz's side is actually a little bit bigger than Spud. I actually did a little bit more 50-50 before. I was pushing everything like more on Spud's side just because, again, he's so small. But then I started realizing Oz has a lot of space, so it doesn't really matter if I go 3/4 of a tank or 50-50. I think 50-50 is fine. But what I did was just based on that comment, and this is something I wanted to do. It just, again, there's just so many things going on, and I think people don't understand, like, when you are a content creator, and there's just so many things that goes into being a content creator. And that's why we really appreciate when you guys leave a like and comment and just engage with us, because me and Tyler, we put a lot of thoughts into these videos and into our content. And yeah, there's still little things we have to do, like cleaning the tanks every week. But it's just like, we're very busy guys, especially that, you know, we do have a full-time job. This is kind of our side gig for now. And yeah, there's just little things that it takes time for us to do. So I'll just dive into it. So as you guys can see on Oz's side, you guys will see all these pipes now in the tank. So what I decided to do before and again, I was experimenting some stuff, but before I had basically rocks on the grid over here, okay? What I found with the rocks, there was a couple holes, and my Nubius wouldn't stick in it, which would cause Oz to attack Spud. Don't get me wrong, Spud does not care. Spud, I don't know if it's because he's like, I don't know, like not dumb, but like it just seemed he was so unbothered. But Oz, for some reason, every time he saw a little bit of Spud, he would go straight to this side, to the grid, and then he would like basically just like wait. And that wait was like a kind of like, I'm gonna eat you kind of wait, right? And so what I decided to do is I decided to put these pipes. So I got these PVC pipes off Marketplace, and basically what I did, this was a lot of work actually. I cut the pipes in half, and I decided to glue the pipes on the grid. Keep in mind, this grid is in plastic, and there's two grids. Like the grids are together, and the reason why I did this was, one, the rocks were very heavy, which, you know, I had times where I thought the grid would actually fall, and you know, if I'm away and the grid falls, you know, obviously Spud would die. He would not stand a chance against Oz. And when I did water changes, sometimes it is nice to kind of push the grid around just so I can scrape the glass and just clean around the separator, right, the divider. So with the plastic tubes, this allows me to do easy water change, and it's lighter. I can lift this up. Also, the grid at the bottom here, this used to go all the way in the sand because the rocks would actually drag it down. So I didn't have the grid completely at the top, which was a big problem because I wasn't able to fill my tank quite high, which would leave the Nubius exposed to the air, which would basically make the leaf all brown and stuff. The other thing is, I do want to start putting my lid back on, just because it's summertime and my water evaporates quite fast when I don't have a lid. And also, I've been noticing Oz has been swimming a lot more now, and yesterday he was splashing everywhere, like water everywhere. So I was like, hey, no, we're not doing that. So I want to put my lid back on and just make sure that these fish don't jump out, because they can actually jump out. Like if the water is like high enough, they could jump out, especially when you're doing this. Hey buddy, you're hungry? Thanks, Bud is hungry. So yeah, so what I did was I cut the tubes, and you guys see there are like plants in them and stuff, which is really nice. And also it allows Spud to go in the tubes here to rest and sleep. I got some clay pot off Amazon, so I'm going to be laying a couple clay pots around the tank, just again for Spud, or sorry, not Spud, Oz, to have some safe area for cover, as again, because these fish actually like to kind of like hide in crevices and stuff. So those are coming tomorrow, and I got obviously the classic brown looking pots. I was gonna get black just to match the vibe of his tank, but I needed like a nice little pop in the tank, and it's a good contrast, brown and green, and then obviously the black. So they can't see each other anymore, which is really nice. But I wanted to show you guys what I did, because this was a lot of work. You guys could see all the pipes, and it actually looks pretty cool. Like, I'm actually very happy with the look. There are a couple cracks down here, as you guys could see, but again, it doesn't matter if Oz can't fit in there. And you know, he's been very happy. He's been basically swimming like this for the last like 2 hours, which is nice, because he wasn't doing that before. And I know if you know, if you guys notice, I removed that big driftwood in the middle here. The reason why is, if the tank didn't have a divider, I would put that driftwood, but it just felt like too much for Oz. Like, I felt like he was always just hiding, and I wasn't able to be able to see him. Although he did like hiding under it, I was just like, nah, you know what? Let's just keep it out. And right now, I'm just sinking the wood in the bin. So that's it for the video, guys, today. I just want to make a quick update. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Comment down below what else you guys would like to see. I want to be more consistent on YouTube, just because, you know, YouTube is something that people enjoy, just because it's a little bit long format. You guys can connect with me and the fish. All the fish are doing very good. Vic is growing. Spud has been turning orange. Hopefully he turns red in the next couple months. And Oz is happy right now, just with his new setup. And of course, Finn, he's grumpy as always. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.